Time's up.
Kick the pod start. The pod? What the hell?
Pod start. The
How
pod
am I
start.
going there?
I am the pod starter. Twisted pod starter.
I think it's time we kick the pod start. Jesus Christ. This is definitely going to go on the blooper reel. Right, I'm going to try this one more time.
Okay.
I think it's time we kick the podcast off.
I like pod starter better.
Pod starter?
Yeah, we could pod starter.
We kick the pod starter off.
Yo.
Right, guys. Welcome to Just Our Opinion, guys.
Welcome.
Episode, I don't know. Really, I'm not even sure what episode we're on.
We're on like 4, I think. 4?
No, I got 4 already. 3 with you, 1 with someone else. So
really?
episode 5.
You cheating on me.
You weren't giving it to me good enough. Welcome.
Cinco.
How's things been, Shola? I haven't kicked up with you for a long time.
Yeah, I've just been sick for a little while still, so I'm just coming off the back of
as
that.
I ease away from you with your deadly toxic.
Don't worry. It's not contagious. But yeah, no, just enjoying life. I've been following the NBA finals, actually. I'm a big NBA fan, so that's been keeping me up at night.
NBA finals have been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, they've been full of drama. Draymond Green getting suspended, Steph Curry going missing, Harrison Barnes going missing. Like it was just nuts. I did not expect the Cavs to come back and win it though.
It was amazing. Game 7. No one saw that from them being 3-1 down in the series.
No, but I mean, I spend a lot of time on the internet, so there was like the conspiracy theorists as well. Like they were supposed to go to a Game 7 and all of this kind of bullshit. But
those guys. The man behind the man behind the man.
Yeah.
Oh.
So anyway, but
well,
yeah,
shout
no,
out
it's
to
been
LeBron
fun.
James
and
the Cleveland Cavaliers, though. You know, they did well. You following the Euros?
The Euros, yes and no. It's on.
Oli.
But I'm not following it too much.
How about your player for France, Payet? He might not be a hammer next season.
Well, no. But I mean, the pound's dropped now, so the asking price is going to be silly. It's going to be very silly.
England might be all right, you know. Yeah, might be all right.
Yeah. So he's 30 plus as well. So might just be his last stop. Hopefully,
30 is the new 20.
Yeah, they do say that.
So what's 20 then? The new 10? I don't know.
Oh man, it's a sad day for paedophilia then.
Sad day for most of the people I know. Hey, I've been having a sad time of lately. I don't even know whether sad is the right word, but I've been in a very reflective mood.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's been when you start to, a lot of good things have happened to me, I would say, in the last, couple of months. Things have been progressing, I finished my first year of uni with an overall 2-1.
Nice.
I'm really glad with that, I put in a fair amount of work into that. Other relationships with people that I've fallen out with in the past, they started to be mended, so I was really happy about that.
That's good.
Started this amazing podcast, and then I'm really stoked about that. And then, I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks ago, just things, just started to slow down a lot. There was a lot of forward progress. I was having a lot of ideas. I was meeting a lot of good people, and I was doing a lot of good stuff. And when things are just not moving as rapidly, obviously things have got to steady out. But yeah, just kind of
What, just things slowed down, or just things just didn't go the way that you wanted it?
Things just kind of slow down, and then it's like a state of mind. I think it's a state of mind. Once things slow down, and you're moving 100 miles per hour, and then you go down to 50, you start going, oh wow, why is this not coming this quickly? And then you start almost like doubting yourself, and then doubt creeps in, and then that's it. Negativity comes in, and then you're just like, oh.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, but it's like it's like, I don't know, like when you're quitting smoking, maybe is a good analogy, where for the first couple of weeks it's like really hard and you need a lot of focus and attention on it, and then once you get used to it, it just becomes normal, kind of thing. So you're like, I'm supposed to be working, I'm supposed to be working real hard, but where's the pressure coming from?
Yes.
And it's not there anymore.
Yes.
So
that's a really good analogy.
So it's kind of good. I think, do you know what? you shouldn't be lamenting it so much. I think that's pretty good. Like it's coming your way. Like this is now becoming natural, or it's it's not so hard. I mean, I'm sure there's challenges to come in the future.
Oh, for sure.
But for right now, you should
already here. Already here.
But you should enjoy it. You should enjoy the rest for now, I guess.
Yeah, so anyone out there that suffering from that same sort of kind of blues when you start moving forward and progressing, just know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Because I'm still grinding. No one's going to stop my grind. Can nobody hold me down? Oh, no. I got to keep on moving.
Yeah.
Damn right. What's been happening in the news lately? Have you seen anything like on Twitter or anything? Because I was kind of I was swiping left, right, center.
I mean, the major story for today is the Brexit, man. The Britons decide to take the reins for itself and steady the ship by itself. Good luck with this one.
I'm going to keep it honest with the viewers of the show. I purposely did not look at anything to do with the stay or leave it campaign.
You didn't?
I didn't. And this is a guy that, I'm very active on my social medias, especially Facebook. That's the one I engage with the most, I suppose. And I like to post a bunch of shit. But I didn't want to get involved.
Why not?
Because I felt that the propaganda that was being put in place was something special. I was like, right, okay, let's get this straight. You want me to care about whether we should stay in the EU or leave the EU because the EU has done what for me as a person of colour living in Great Britain? Or the other way, if we leave the EU as a person of colour in Great Britain, what is leaving the EU gonna do for me when we done left the countries that we colonized long time ago, and that did absolutely nothing for the people of color in these countries? I don't know. I didn't really want to get into that whole back and forth. So I just sit back and relax, ate some popcorn, and I just watched it. Like the social media go crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I got my information from social media as well. I mean, I could have watched it last night, but I was watching the NBA draft. I slapped myself on the wrist.
Naughty boy.
But me too. But I mean, my own problems it's my own fault really, because I got distracted by like the Premier League because Leicester winning the title.
So many important
things were happening that we just, because they were running up to this for a couple of months now.
Yeah.
And I didn't even notice until probably last week.
Finished.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? House of Cards came out, Game of Thrones.
Last episode of Game of Thrones, bro.
Yeah, like
last episode of Game of Thrones is coming out this Sunday.
Sure,
how you mean? One. And I've got to be worrying about exiting the flipping EU when the mother of dragons is going around dumping, man. How you mean?
Distractions are real, man. You got to pay attention to the distractions.
Listen, I care about 3 bad man dragons and some ice kings rather than the education reform in this country. It's far more interesting. I don't want to get involved in this politics. I'm not really not really. But the fascinating thing that I found is, okay, I posted something on Facebook today.
I saw something like that.
And to be fair, no, I'm not even going to act like it caused a stir, because let's say out of 100%, there was about 15% that didn't really write nasty things, just what do you mean?
Yeah.
And it was really funny, right? Basically, what I said is, what are you going to do? I said to all those keyboard killers, mousepad mobsters, and internet interrogators, what are you going to do? You mans have been talking tough the whole referendum, going, I'm going to do this, like I'm going to leave this country if we leave the EU, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to boycott this and I'm gonna do this if we leave the EU. That's what I've been hearing throughout the whole campaign. And I'm like, you know what? Because I wasn't involved in that, I didn't say nothing. Then I wake up to hear that we have left. Do you know what I saw? A whole bunch of, oh, it's a sad day. What has Britain done? Oh, people are so stupid. So I put up, what are you going to do? Are you going to stand tall and be about the conviction in your tweets and in your posts? Are you going to go leave this country? Are you going to fight for what's yours?
Yeah. Well, I know, you know, some of them are just going to talk the talk. Although, as I was making my cup of tea this morning, when I saw the thing, I was like, you know what, Canada sounds kind of good about now.
Oh, it's sober. How do you make your tea?
2 sugars.
2 sugars?
Yeah.
Do you like your milk?
Soy milk, yeah.
Soy milk?
Yeah, have to.
But doesn't it get like little lumpy?
Nah, man, the soy milk's good though. Soy milk I've got is good.
Do you like it really milky?
Yeah, a little bit milky.
Do you put your milk in before you put in the hot water?
No,
Bad,
don't try and trap me with that one.
Listen, I was just trying to answer that question. Do you think like that's kind of blasphemy when people put the milk in?
No, because I'm not really a big tea drinker. Like, it's not one of the things that, you know, has to be safe. So I'm not Japanese. I don't need the ritual when I make my tea. But like, with one of one of my ex-girlfriends was like, poor people used to put their tea in first, their milk in first for the tea.
Why is that?
Because the china that they had was really, really cheap. So it would cool down the china before you put hot water into it.
Ah.
And then your cup wouldn't break.
Wow.
That's what I heard.
That sounds like some EU referendum propaganda right there. But it does sound deep.
That's what I was saying. But I don't even get why what's the issue with putting in the milk first or last?
I don't. Oh, okay, right. Oh.
So what's the difference?
Okay, you don't know how much. Okay, you're not going to judge how warm or hot your tea is going to be because you can put in too much milk. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you put in the water first, and then you can actively see, okay, how much milk you're going to need for your tea. So because you can fuck up your tea a lot. Because dunking biscuits into tea needs a certain temperature of brew. Like if you make it too milky and it's lukewarm, your biscuit's just gonna be.
Do you know what?
Biscuit.
I swear down, I was living in a shared house years ago, and someone just put it back in the microwave. I was like, what the fuck?
Someone, let me get this right. Did you just say someone put their tea back into the microwave?
Yeah.
Now that's a true fucking Brit. Now that is a true fucking Brit. A Brit will never give up on a cup of tea. These are the things that we should be fighting for in this fucking country. Fuck a referendum. Care about my tea.
The laws of tea.
I didn't see that on anywhere on Facebook.
I didn't see that on anybody's manifesto.
Nothing at all.
No, there was no talk about it. And if there was, I need to find a hashtag.
Keep tea British hashtag. Mate, should we start that?
Yeah, fuck it. I'm not doing anything.
You're not doing anything for the next couple of weeks? Hashtag keep tea British?
Yeah, no. I back that still.
Like that, even though tea's not really.
That's Chinese. No, it's not Chinese. It's Chinese.
I don't know.
Look at me trying to talk like I know shit.
I don't want to put out that information. Okay, what I know is I think it's Chinese.
Yeah.
Please correct me if I'm wrong.
No, there's just different types of tea in it. Like the one that we drink, the PG Tips one. I don't even know what type of tea that is, you know. Do
you know more countries drink tea without milk than with milk? Like we're one of like the few people that drink tea with milk. Who are we?
The English breakfast tea, yeah. Yo, so when I was in Holland for a little while, she was my friend was asking me about tea and like asking me why we put milk in tea, but she thought that we put milk in like rooibos tea or you know, like some next teas, like, you know, green tea. We put milk in everything, so people were a bit confused like why you're putting milk in tea. I just thought I'd share that a little bit.
No, you know what? Funny enough, when I said that, you know what came? It was from a Dutch person who educated me about the fact that the English are one of the few that have milk in their tea.
But it's just a different type of tea.
But can you see the parallels? we're one of the few countries that have milk in their tea. So maybe we should not be a part of the EU because of we put milk in our tea. Again, they didn't say that in there. In all the paraphernalia that they released. So they didn't say
paraphernalia.
Was that the right word?
That was the right word.
Oh, thank God. I got a
Although I did
big
see a
got
fucking
a big word.
I saw so I spend a lot of time on YouTube just trying to watch some stuff, and I saw Brexit the movie.
Brexit the movie.
It's like an hour-long piece of propaganda. I thought it was going to be a balanced view of like, because I'm stupid, so I don't know what's going on. So I thought YouTube will educate me and let me know how things are going. I got 20 minutes in, and I was just like, "Fuck, we need to leave the EU." I was like, "No, this is just propaganda. It's just straight propaganda." Is added to the paraphernalia of other stuff, that the leaflets and the debates and all that kind of shit. I'm just sick and tired of fucking.
Do you know my mum had the audacity to start trying to tell me about politics? I was like, Mum, if you don't sit your old ass down. She's like, because like someone knocked on the door, and it was, I don't know, it was a definitely. The voice sounded middle class white. I was too lazy to go and check, right?
Yeah.
But it was middle upper class, very well spoken, and they were definitely white because they had a certain tone. A black person's at the tone. There's a door, even though whether they're posh or not, there's just a certain vibration. You just know. So this person was talking to my mum, and my mum entertained the conversation for a long time. It was at least for a good 10 minutes, and it was for the leave.
Okay, so this wasn't somebody that your mum knew.
No, not at all. It was just the people coming over like, hey, are you voting? Which way you're voting? And then like maybe a couple hours later, my mum's cooking and go, go and see what's in the kitchen.
In passing.
And then my mum goes, John, sit down, please. I want to talk to you. I was like, what? Okay. I was like, what's up? I'm starting to panic. Anytime like my mum wants to speak to me, it's like she goes, are you going to vote? I was like, oh, Mum, I'm not gonna, sorry, Mummy. I don't call my mum Mum. Type of talk is that. It's Mummy, yeah? I was like, Mummy, well, what you mean voting? I'm not a voter, I don't vote. She goes, but it's important, like, I was told, like, by expert advice. I was like, what?
Oh, mate.
Expert advice? Who's this expert you got on speed dial? She goes, I was told that we need to leave the EU because the EU's not good for us. Because the EU, we're losing out on so much money and we don't have control over our country. And I want to have control over the country that I live in.
Oh, my God.
Mummy David Cameron, what are you talking about? I was like, Mum, do you really believe this? She goes, yes, I was told. I was like, who told you? She goes, a woman came to the door. I was like, wow, they even got my mum. They got my mum, an old Nigerian lady who knows nothing about politics. They got my mum in a 10-minute conversation.
Oh, they work good.
Shocking.
They work good, didn't it? But that's the door-to-door canvassing, and I didn't even believe that worked. Because when I open the door and they try to talk to me, I'm just like, nah, I'm all right, thank you. And you just close the door. Yeah. And you carry on with your day.
They don't want that type of argument. I could just imagine. I open the door. Oh, hi, Mr. Whatever. What's your name? Oh, John. Hi, Mr. John. I just wanted to say I wanted to vote. I want you to vote, leave, or stay in. Because personally, I haven't said my personal opinion yet. Mm-hmm. I don't really care either way. Because I'm not bothered, because I think it's both bullshit. But they would have got, just for argument's sake, oh man, I would have argued them they would have gone home. They wouldn't even hit on any more doors. I would have argued. I'm like, listen, I don't want this because this, and this, that. But going back to what I was saying before about my Facebook comment.
Oh, yeah.
I got loads of people, like so much support because I wasn't leaning in any specific direction, but lots of here. What are people gonna do? What are people gonna do? And then I got obviously the sarcastic people, like
the trolls.
Like, shout out to my friend Genevieve. She was like, "What do you mean?" I felt, sorry,
No, go ahead.
I felt to like go, should I slap you now or should I slap you tomorrow? Was I not very, very clear on my statement was, what are you going to do? To all the people that were talking tough, what are you going to do now? Is there anything hard about that?
No, do you know what? And I know where this is coming from, especially for me, because it's like when there's all like major tragedies in the world, or you know, like the Paris shootings, and they, you know, everyone turned their Facebook post profile picture with the Paris flag, French flag. It's all of these keyboard warriors that say, you know, that are with one cause one week, and then they'll switch it the next week, and then they'll switch it to next week, or you know, if the news ain't reporting it, then it doesn't exist. You know, so I guess you're calling out those kind of people to say, all right, then back up your claims. Back up. You said you're going to do this. Do this. Do you know what I mean? I get that. That's fine. Like, I don't see any problem with that. And then if you want to take umbrage with that, that's your beef. But you don't need to be angry with what you said.
Yeah, like people are getting like, there's a couple like, because I feel like they think that I'm attacking their view. I'm not attacking their view because I don't have a specific view on whether we should have left or whether we should stay. I was just questioning your conviction to the cause, and bringing further into question is 30 million people voted. That's like the biggest voting turnout since 1992, I read. There is a general election every single 4 years. And I want the viewers to realize that is 1,000 times more important than the EU referendum. And guess what? People don't either vote, or people go, you need to vote this way. Vote Conservatives. Oh man, look at vote Conservatives. Now you voted Conservatives, now you're out of the EU.
Yo.
How you feel about them apples?
So I think there was something going on in the group with that dude that said, I didn't think would actually leave. Do you remember? No?
No.
Anyway, I read somewhere that the majority of the leavers were like over 65. And they were using their vote as a protest vote. So it was they didn't think it was actually going to go through. But, you know, just want to stick it to the man kind of thing. And now, look, we're in this position. What I do find funny, though, is a lot of people are losing their minds over the fact that we're coming out of the EU. And the majority of the people, because we live in London, we're the ones that want to stay.
Yeah.
You know, London it turned into a state. You got most of Scotland and Northern Ireland that voted Remain as well. It's mostly people in, you know, the Midlands and the north of England that wanted to leave. But funnily enough, in our lifetimes, we've always been part of the EU.
Yeah.
From what I've known,
yeah, 47 years.
Yeah, 40 plus years we've been part of the EU. So when I'm born, that's all I know is the EU. So now we're out of it, it's kind of a little bit scary. That's why people are getting a bit funny. But I guess for the over 65s, maybe, they've lived in a life where Britain wasn't in the EU.
And it was shit then. Facts. Do you know why? Because we're coming out of World War II. If it was 47 years ago, we're coming out of World War II. And guess what this country looks like? Shit.
It looked like Canning Town.
So, it looked like shit. So I don't know what they were living. Here's the funny thing about it, right? I've been in the EU. You're right. Since I've been born into this planet and just so happened to be plonked out in Great Britain, I've been a part of the EU. But guess what? This country's been shit since I've been born. Like, do you know that we live in a country where Mark Duggan got shot, murdered on the streets of London? Do you know that we live in a country where the kids rioted only 2-3 years ago and started to burn down London? Not because they were tired and they wanted a pair of new Air Force Ones.
Oh, there was nothing on TV.
No, it's because they were just tired and they were restless and there was nothing for them. I live in a country today that's a part of the EU that does absolutely nothing for the poor in this country? Absolutely nothing. I can't buy a house in London. I'm still part of the EU, right?
Yeah.
There's been a crash. There's been a recession. Still Wales are part of the EU. So if we leave,
what's your point?
So my point is, I'm not either way. If we leave the EU, guess what's going to happen? People like Mark Duggan are still going to get killed. There's still going to be a recession, I'm assuming, at some point. The house prices are still going to skyrocket, and you know what? There's still going to be institutional racism.
So
nothing's going to change.
So wait, so when you bring up those points, though, when you do bring up those points, are these points that really matter to you, or are they just points because they're points?
No, they're points because they do matter to me.
Okay.
Of course, no, they really do matter to me.
So wouldn't it be in your best interest to get, or is this something that you want, that those points need to be rectified, or they need to be remedied in some way, shape or form?
100% they need to be remedied.
Okay, but how do we go about these kind of things? I'm not asking you for a grand manifesto or whatever.
No. Oh, Jesus, sorry. I
So he was ready to go though.
Sometimes. I was like, right, okay. Let me bring out my.
I mean, if you want to, you can.
No. I put a post up. Okay, it was a little a prelude to the post I put up. I put a post up about a really courageous woman who was affected by cancer, and she had to chop off both of her breasts, and then she ran topless to, I think it was to DC. I can't remember how many miles. She ran with her little daughter, and I spoke about, we're worrying about whether being a part of the EU or not when we've got issues like this and we haven't resolved them. Simple issues like this, people getting the medication that they need, simple, and it being too much money. We haven't resolved these type of issues, and we're worried about a referendum about the EU. And those type of problems can be remedied. And I said at the end of it, if you want to solve problems, and I mean this, Shola, what happens in America and most countries is people form lobbies. So you have the sugar industry or the food industry, or even create a bigger pact, and they go, okay, with all our clout and money, what we're going to do is we're going to go fucking buy a politician, or two politicians, or three politicians. Go, right, if you don't bow down to our needs, what we're going to do is we're going to pull our money from X, Y, and Z. And you know what happens? They only fucking get what they fucking want. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So if you really want to make change and you want to continue to be a part of the matrix that is the UK British politics system, then you need to play by the rules and play by the game.
Are you just trying to, are
Bribery.
you fishing for a job right now? Are you
I'm
just
not
saying,
fishing for a
are
job.
you saying that you're going to be the politician and everybody should just give you their money?
I'm trying to, not me, I don't want to be a
I mean, that's a
politician.
good hustle. That's a
I'm
good
not trying
hustle.
to be a politician. I'm just trying to tell you, you could go in, all right, okay, yes, I'm going to elect this guy and he's going to have my needs. Not one politician, not one PM, shall I say, has ever had the needs of the populace of this country. Get the fuck out of here. It's never. You can name me one PM in this country. Please, I dare anyone to say that they've had the best needs of the country. What, shipping all the jobs off to other countries so we don't have any jobs here to do for the people that are actually here? Right, okay, cool. Right, okay. Closing all primary sector jobs, so like farming, general agriculture, or tertiary jobs like, secondary jobs, factory work and stuff like that. All gone, wiped out, sent abroad. Now we're looking at tertiary jobs, the financial sector. Oh my gosh, they're farming out stuff by the boatload. What jobs are going to be here?
I don't think that the whole UK is going to be devoid of all jobs. I think it's more of a it's to do with the market, I would say. So if someone from, like, let's say India can do the same job that somebody from Britain can do, but for cheaper, wouldn't you give the job to that person?
Not if it's going to be, if we believe in what is called sovereign state. So that basically means if we care about the country we live in, we value it as a country, and that's what we're fighting for, that is not actually good for the country, it's good for an individual company. So if you're a company, let's say I'm John Limited, and I can, look, I make sugar in this country, right?
Yeah.
I make cakes, but the key ingredient is sugar,
Sugar,
right? So if I make it here, I'm going to create employment for people in this country.
Yep.
But they cost too much to,
Yep.
you know,
Yep. Too much to pay.
to pay.
Yep.
I farm it off to India. I make more money.
Yep.
The country doesn't make more money, but I make more money.
Yep.
So it's good for individual corporations, but for sovereign state, shipping off jobs across the pond to wherever is not good for Great Britain.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, how did we get here?
I can't remember how we get here.
How did we
but
get here?
The fact is, all of this stuff is happening, and we're still in the EU. And if we get out the EU, all of this stuff is still going to continue to happen, out bribing officials. So what you need to do is bribe an official, right? Band together as people. It's not if you don't like the word bribery, what you're going to do is create a lobby. You know, if you don't like it, just create a lobby, create a pact, and go to officials and say, I'm going to take away X amount of money. I have this amount of support, this amount of million of poor people or normal working class citizens of this country, and we refuse this, and we won't pay for this, or we won't support this if you don't do this for us. That's what we need to do.
Yeah. So if you haven't watched House of Cards, that's pretty much what House of Cards is about.
Pretty much, because that is real life politics.
Yeah.
That is real life politics. This is what happens every single day. Like, you think that you're voting on something and it's going to make a difference about something. No, put your money where your mouth is, boy.
Yeah. I guess the politicians, though, you're voting on a person. I guess it's like you're voting on say there's two people, right? And one looks very, very stand up, like a stand up guy, and the next one looks like he's gonna rob the girl from underneath you, yeah. Mm-hmm. Right? I guess people are more voting for this more stand up guy because maybe he can hold up to pressures from lobbyists or whatever, and try and do right for the people. This is where I think they're what's the word I'm looking for? Their fears are placed or misplaced. I think that the way that you come across is like voting, it doesn't really matter because it doesn't matter if it's person A or person B, shit ain't gonna get done. And I think that's a very narrow view of what politics is all about. And I'm not even claiming like I know what politics is about. I have no idea, right? I just watched House of Cards too, so that's all I know. That's all I know. And have I got news for you? Much
politics from House of Cards. You ain't even lying. You argue a certain part of politics you can. The skullduggery behind politics you really can.
And have I got news for you?
But talking about the reason why... Sorry,
go on. No. Because I've lost my point. I completely forgot my point.
You raised a point about it's a very narrow point of view. I can only gauge that by what's put in front of me. Uh-huh. So we had three major parties. So Conservatives, Labour, and Lib Dem. Right? Okay.
I thought you so say UKIP for a second.
No, I wasn't. But you might as well, UKIP now. You might as well say traditionally, before, let's say 8 years ago, before the coalition, you might as well say that Lib Dem was Labour's junior brother. A lot of the same views, no, but it's true. A lot of the same views they were pretty much divided by leadership, essentially. One party was orange, one party was red. But essentially, a lot of the views and opinions were shared between Labour candidates and
Conservative.
and Liberal Democrat.
Okay.
Liberal Democrat candidates. Then Conservative Party, when the general election happened a couple of years about. No, not this one, the one before, where David Cameron came into to power. Conservative parties didn't have enough votes. A majority share. So
they formed a coalition.
With the Lib Dems. Now, a party that was the polar opposite, in theory, from the Conservative Party, did a 180. I was like, yeah, we'll join this coalition. And they completely said F you to all the constituents of the Liberal Democrat Party, and essentially became the Conservative Party. Can you see why I would never ever vote again? Like, that last shred of any hope I had for the political system died on that day. And you wonder why the Liberal Democrat Party is in disarray because you saw if you look at the last general election and you see the polls, oh boy, they did not figure at all because everyone was like, you actually just anally raped me.
Yeah. The only thing that I can argue with you on that is like, number one, it's not it's not their government, so they've made. I don't know the numbers, but let's say it was 70% Conservative, 30% Lib Dem, right? Right. For argument's sake, that coalition is made up of. So when the 30% are trying to get any laws put through or any changes made, they have to fight against 70% of the rest of their party. So that's number one.
Yeah.
All right. Number two, you're somebody else's bitch. So you can't really speak up most of the time because
100%.
you're somebody else's bitch.
I've been that way with a couple of girls.
Third point is, and I always try and make this point, especially with like American presidents, is like, you come in and say you're going to make all of these changes, right? And people vote for you because you say you're going to make up all of these changes. Then you get into the job and then you find out that the person before you has left this office in a fucking state. Mm-hmm. So then you remember you got 4 years. You spent like a year and a half trying to clean up this mess, right? First of all. Then second of all, then you've got to start getting the ball rolling on how to implement your system into the whole shit, right? And that, before you know it, your 4 years are up. I can see why you would think that people either renege on their deals or renege on what they say, but I think it's because people have to clean up other people's mess. And sometimes you go in like with like the biggest dick. You're saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And you come in and you're saying like, yeah, this job is a little bit bigger than I thought it was. And then you get in there and you're like, oh shit. Yeah, I can't do this. Although, did you see that Nigel Farage thing on this Good Morning Great Britain?
About the 350 million.
That was hilarious. That was hilarious.
That
is something different. That's something different from what I just said.
That's what the world, it happens all the time. It's just like when they said, when Lib Dems were like, no, do you know what? We ain't going to fuck you over when it comes to university and tuition fees.
That was funny as well.
Wow. That was a doozy.
That was funny as well.
And then you joined the devil, and then I'm paying $9,000 a year. Yes, thank you, Nick Clegg. Yes, thank you. Now you're out of a fucking job, you dickhead.
Wow.
Sorry, I get passionate
that's
about that.
fine.
No, but this is why unless what you said is so true, like it can only be true if it happened. Let's say the first 5 times, right? Oh, get into office. Oh, do you know what? Damn it. There's so much work to be done. Oh, first year and a half, clearing other people's shit. Then I can get round. Yeah, vote me in again. And then you vote me in again for another 4 years. And then it's like, oh, shit. It's still a tall order. And then you get voted out. Then the next guy then happens. But this happens all the time. So if this happens all the time, guess what? You can't use ignorance, or you can't say, oh, it's because of that person. You already know the problems that are at hand and how big the task is when you become prime minister. Do you know why? Because your party will fill you in of what's happening.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
You have all the trusted advisors in the world and these so-called intelligent people that you can lean on for advice before you run a campaign. So you know what needs to be done. The fact is, you don't really care. You have your own private agenda when you go into politics.
So are you just trying to say that we're living in Nigeria, basically?
Real facts. Not a civilized. Oh, I was just gunning my people in Nigeria. A slick version. Like Nigeria will be England in, let's say, 40 years' time. We know how to cover our bullshit. We know how to do ours on another slick level. Let me give you a prime example. When you go to Nigeria, you go to the airport, right? You go to the airport. By the time you get off the plane, to the time you get outside, 5 people will ask you for money. And I'm not talking about a beggar. I'm talking about officials that working in the airport. And they'll try and make it out like official, or you have to go back on the plane. Yep. They'll be like, look, it's airport policy that you get this trolley from here, or you're not allowed to get to this stage, or have you got this stamp in your passport? Bear in mind, you don't need none of this stuff, but you're going to be shelling out nairas left, right, and center.
Yeah.
You know what that is called? That is called bribery. Okay, in the UK, I used to work for a company called Willis. I didn't work for them, I did security for them. Not really same thing, but whatever. Now, guess what they went and gonna do? This guy got the sack, but this still happens around the world daily. So in order to secure insurance contracts, basically, around the world, one dude went into Nigeria, because this is not Nigeria, in Africa, I don't know where it was. And you know what, he was bribing officials. Okay, give us this contract and we will pay you X, Y, and Z. Oh, 60 grand. And okay, I'll get this person to get insurance from, use your company as the middleman, as a brokerage firm. Yeah. Right, cool. But they did it in a way where it's a paper trail. So it wasn't directly saying, give me 60 grand. Yeah, right. But it was a way, an underhand way of saying, yo, scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. Eventually they got caught and the company would have got fined £7 million. But this is how this country operates. It's the exact same thing. It's no different from bribery, or 5 different people going, let me take your trolley for you, or you can't go to this section over here, or you need this stamping, or give me 60 grand and I'll give you this contract over here. Exact same thing.
Yeah, but you see, this is why I come off the plane looking like Childish Gambino, bruv, so them mans don't bother me. He ain't got no money, don't worry, just let him through. Like, no, it is a very, very slick way of doing bribery, I guess. That's the way the world works. I think that's just the way the world works.
And you know what? If people were to turn around, this is the amazing thing what you just said, and it's a really good thing. That is the way the world works. If people were to turn around and admit that to themselves, this is how the world works, then the world can actually, at that point, maybe, and I only say maybe, stand the chance of actually changing at that point. But people need to accept. People need to accept it first.
What we talk on the grand scheme of things, we're talking about politicians get bribed to get shit done.
A politician gets bribed. Your government is already bought and sold several times over. There's no such thing as, the UK government owns this country. Shut your mouth. Corporations own this country. So
if we do believe in that fact, then there is no hope for us.
Well, there might not be. There might not be. But there is a better chance if people all understood, right, this is the way it is. Yeah. Then you can go, are we going to stick and be slaves to the system that we currently have? Or are we going to do something about it? But until people actually identify with it being the way it is, then nothing's going to happen. And this is done for a reason because, sorry, Karen.
I mean, no, you're right. But then it just leaves somebody feeling like there's nothing that they can do. It's just straight inertia. Like, well, if this is the way that it is and I don't have the money, then fuck it.
I do not agree with deaths and, murdering people because I don't think that it gets you anywhere. But there are people that don't think about that, and that's terrorists, fundamentalists of all sorts, whether it come from the Crusades to the Christianity, when they'll go around spreading Christianity around the world and going, the world is not right.
Christianity by force.
Exactly, by force, that people forget that didn't happen for how many years, and man's were dupping people like the fundamentalist Islamic people now. Or you have people, fundamentalists of this day and age, where they're dupping around people going, man is not having this because of whatever. It's people that's had enough, generally, and they're saying, or they have a cause that they believe in, and they say, do you know what, I don't want to go again, I don't want to be a part of the system and how it's operating now, and it's oppressing me, so I am going to do X, Y, and Z. There are people doing it today. We see it all the time. Look at terrorist attacks all over the world. I don't think it's the most productive way, but there again, marching ain't getting us nowhere.
Yeah, no, I see. I see what you mean by that. With now, I don't stand because it's very murky water.
I'm not condoning death. I am not condoning death in any shape, form, or fashion. I'm not trying to say that is the way forward. I'm just simply saying there are people using this tool to buck against the current system. That's all I'm trying to say.
That's fair enough. That is fair enough.
I gave the option of being a part. If you can't beat them, join them. But my thing is, if you can't beat them, join them and then come better than them. So learn how to bribe better than them. Learn how to get into the system and be better than them at the system. That's my model.
That's a good model to have, I guess. Yeah. But you know what?
now.
I'm too busy on the NBA shit. So
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, they need to stop fucking up with this politics.
TV's just too good,
I got
man.
too much. Do you know Wimbledon's coming up?
Oh, Wimbledon.
We got the Euros of Wimbledon, and then a little thing called the
Rio Olympics.
Damn right, the Rio
Oh,
Olympics.
yo, the Rio Olympics, bruv. They need to cancel that. I just saw something like yesterday.
What's that?
The whole place is a mess, bruv.
How do you mean?
Right, so Brazil, what was it? 2 years ago they hosted the World Cup, and that you know now the stadiums that they've built and spent all the money on. All right, first of all, actually, let me get this straight. With the whole FIFA World Cup and the whole Rio Olympics, right? The cities themselves don't make the money. You know that, right? They're not the ones that make the money. It's FIFA make the money, or the IAAF. Is it IAAF? IOC are the ones that profit of these great big spectacles. So, the country like London, we spend a lot of money building the stadiums and the infrastructure and shit like that, but we don't see that much of a return back from, when the games have left and gone. This is why they talk about the Olympic legacy and shit like that, because it's like, so what happens 4 years after the games have gone, or 8 years after? So this is why Atlanta got fucked years ago. I studied that at uni. But also Brazil is a really, really poor country anyway.
Yeah.
So on that note, you've got the country in a recession, trying to pay for an Olympics that he can't afford. You've got national epidemic with the Zika virus. I think it's kidnappings and terrorism is fucking high. Like, it's a very, very bleak. Oh, and the Russian doping scandal as well.
Yeah.
I think that have they pulled Russia out of it?
I think they have.
They pulled Russia out of it.
I think they have.
Now I was all
Or the athletics team, I know that for sure.
Exactly.
The track and field definitely are not.
So I was all hyped for a whole summer of sport.
Right.
But then you've got all of these negative things that are coming over the Olympic Games. And I'm like, do you know what? I don't think this is a good idea this year to hold it there. Because I think because I know that about 5 players from the basketball team have opted out due to injury or needing a rest or whatever. But I just, excuse me, I just think it's going to be a disaster.
Let me tell you something. Ain't no one going to stop me watching no Olympics. That is my God-given right as a human fucking being to have an Olympic Games every 4 years. Not every 3.5 years, not every 6 years. I will have it every 4 years, and it will be this fucking summer.
Wait, let me interject there
And
real
in
quick.
Brazil?
I'm not going to say that they
I'm not going to be able to see no fat
can't
ass.
cancel fucking the whole Olympics. I mean, just move it to another city that can afford it.
Another city or country. Or city within Brazil.
It could be a city in Brazil. I would, me personally, I would prefer it to be in a different country.
Look,
think that
if you want to move it to a country that has that many fat asses, I don't mind. I'll get over it. But you're not. So we're going to have it in Brazil, and you're going to have a Coke and a smile and have a good day.
Oh,
right?
I mean, this is like the elections. I can't really change it anyway. So it's like, fuck, it's going to happen. But it's going to be a sad.
Talk about no Zika. Sounds like my cousin's name. That is my cousin's name.
Oh, shit.
Zika virus or
Zika
Zika's
virus,
Zika.
yeah.
I don't give a fuck about no Zika virus.
Watch when your baby comes
Listen.
in about 20 years.
You better be. Is it going to stop you from running and jumping? No, it doesn't. You better run, jump, swim, and do some archery. I want to see all the sports that I don't even like.
But
Like
you see, but when you have a big right, so
Is that Winter Olympics?
what?
Curling.
Curling, yeah, it's winter, bro.
Oh, okay, sorry, my bad.
But when you have a big tournament, maybe that World Cup or whatever, prostitution economy is on the rise.
Oh, on the rise for sure. You got
Yeah.
all the ballers coming into town.
Of course. But, the Zika virus affects women that are not trying to conceive, but people that are actively having sex.
Okay.
Can you see the?
I can see where you're going. That's kind of fucked up. But that's kind of fucked up.
It's a bit of a stretch. And
he's trying to catch no super AIDS. But the Zika virus, this is why you can't believe everything you hear.
All right, then.
Because we're all supposed to be dead with Ebola right now. Yes. Don't pause. Yes. You've got Ebola. You've got Ebola, Thaddeus. Everyone's got Ebola.
Wait.
That's all I'm going to say.
SARS.
Did you say SARS or
SARS,
SARS?
yeah.
SARS. Oh, wow, dude, that's a good one. That's a good one. Right. We should all be dead with Ebola right now by the outbreak that we're talking about. Propaganda, and guess what? More propaganda.
No, but I think the Zika one's real.
No,
But, I mean, it doesn't...
What, Ebola wasn't? I'm just talking about the levels that they're talking about. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I would question, because they were saying it was spreading like wildfire.
What, the Zika or the Ebola? Are we,
Both.
Have we moved on for Zika now? Are we just going to be... Because I feel like I'm one that's flogging a dead horse right now. I think...
Why Zika? What was the name of that? Was it because of a specific reason why they called it Zika?
I have no clue, man. I get my information from
names,
Twitter.
Man. Shit.
Fuck, I don't know shit.
If you really want something to catch on, call it like something nice, like My Little Pony virus or something like that. Something that's really nice and catchy that people might actually get down with. But Zika's a bit harsh.
If you call it like the Megadeth Apocalypse virus, you reckon people will take it more seriously though? Like start washing their hands and like just like do normal stuff.
Do you know what? Hold on. Let me marinate on that. Megadeth Apocalyptic virus.
Now people would just probably lose their minds actually.
Yeah, I think people would. No, because you want everyone to know about it
like,
and be afraid, but not too afraid.
Because if you call it a My Little Pony virus, people just wouldn't pay attention.
No. And
then in 3 days, they're dead.
Like, they're like, I want a pony. I've always wanted a pony.
you end up dead like that.
in the pony
position.
All right, maybe listen. My Little Pony claimed to be a genius show.
No, I know, but I get what you're saying. It's like it sounds gay, but I get it. You know, we can change. We can work on it, and we'll find a name later. But I get it.
Yeah. So back to the Brit leave.
Oh, yeah.
Brit. I don't even know what was fully Brit X or whatever. Brexit or whatever it's called. I really don't want people to think that I am against leaving the EU or for it. I want people to know that I'm fully impartial to this.
Why?
To this thing.
We've
gone through this. Fully impartial. I just like to be. You know what? I can be a little bit childish at times, and I'm just going. That's all I'm doing. I'm literally going to the people that talk tough, not to the genuine people that actually in their hearts. I'm not talking about new age, they discovered politics in the last couple of months, yeah? I'm talking about to the genuine people that actually believe the lies and think that something's going to happen. It would have been better to stay in the EU. For those people, I'm not talking to you. But the people that are talking tough, that's my message to you. And I saw some nonsense. You know what they're saying again? What? Do you know how people are talking tough? It's not like they're learning their lesson. They're like, if Boris Johnson gets into power, I'm going to. It's like they're giving me the ammunition already. You're going to do what? You're going to do absolutely fuck all like you did just now. Yeah. So on that bombshell,
I was a bit stunned. I didn't have anything to talk about. I couldn't. You're right, in a sense.
Oh, this is just our opinion, guys. It is the opinion of me, and I don't expect it. And it's the opinion of Shola. He gave you his opinions on this, and I gave you mine. And you don't have to listen to his or mine. You can form your own opinion. Just have an opinion on something, and we can continue to have excellent debates and conversation and cuss people and cuss ourselves on my show if we continue to keep on having juicy opinions that spark debates. So guys, I think we should keep this moving because I can talk about this the whole day, but I do have other things to do, like work and feed the family. But I like to keep this going on Twitter. So if you could hashtag JOG London and give some more of your views, whether you think I'm talking bullshit, whether you think Shola's talking bullshit, whether you think your opinions are more valid than our opinions, I want to keep this discussion going. And we actually might find some solutions or some healings to the issues that we are facing in the near future and the present. Shola, socials, your ones.
Yeah, my socials, you can catch me on Twitter as General Knowledge. That's at I am General K. You can catch me on Facebook. My name is Shola Akande, and on Twitter. I just said Twitter. Instagram as Sydney Dean. That's at SIDNAY_DEANE.
Right, and as for me, it's Jog London on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, or you can follow my personal Facebook, which is John Uwejia, that's UWEJEYAH, or my Snapchat is Big Bomb John. I think it is. It is Big Bomb John on Snapchat. Yeah, follow me on Big Bomb John at Snapchat. Guys, a pleasure as always. Shola.
Yes.
You are the guy.
Safe.
All right. Just our opinion, guys. Peace.